The Young Turks 14 years Happy Women's Day.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our panel, What It Takes to Be a Woman Entrepreneur. Facebook CEO Sheryl Sandberg, in her book Lean In, has said, and I quote, "In the future, there'll be no female leaders, there'll be just leaders." Now, my first question to you panelists is, do you want to be called as a woman entrepreneur, or just an entrepreneur is enough?
I hate to be labeled as this lady anywhere, because my point is, hey, I'm with the rest of the gang, right? So why get me out as a different person from there?
Beyond merit, we don't need any other reservation. If you're good enough, your product should speak for itself, and that will get you all the customers and investors that you need.
Starting with you, Atibhi, what are some of the unique characteristics that women professionals or women entrepreneurs bring to the table? In other words, tell me what it takes to be a woman entrepreneur.
I think we really pride ourselves as women in our ability to multitask. But I think as entrepreneurs, I think this kind of it does not work in our favor. I really feel the ability to really compartmentalize, which means, set your goals and really, do not mix work with family. It's tough. But, I really encourage women that even if you have just 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day, 5 hours a day, those 5 hours is what you need to really dedicate to your work without any kind of, disturbances related to family, social pressures, etc. I think, another very, very, very key thing that I've learned is as entrepreneurs, especially as women entrepreneurs, we need to have the ability to ask. Okay, my motto is, if you don't ask, the answer is always going to be no. We kind of reach a situation where, there are multiple things to manage. And more often than not, people are very, very willing to help us.
I just want to add to what she said is, letting go. Some of the times is something... what I've noticed is we try to be too perfectionist.
Exactly.
And then want to sort of do everything. And being a woman, that aggravates it more.
And then so you want to do everything on your own?
Exactly.
If you can't, then you go on these guilt trips.
Absolutely. So let go.
Yeah. CiteHR is one of the largest HR communities. What are some of the biases that companies have while hiring women? Can you share with us some examples that you've had?
CiteHR being an anonymous discussion forum, we don't really get to know who's the person who's the member who's posting this discussion, but we have a fair idea of where she is from. So she shared that she's not getting hired. Why? Because she got married just 6 months back. As a talent, she cannot go back to the workforce because the employer is not willing to undertake those 3 months that she might 3 months or 6 months that she may need in a maternity benefit. This is the first bias that we as a woman need to work out. Second bias is, even when their maternity benefit is allowed to be taken, women are offered flexi work. So they are suddenly, from a star employee, they are almost not formally but informally demoted into a cold talent or a spare talent. Do not let yourself be there ever. Whether you're a leader in the team or whether you are the talent who was put in that spotlight, fight against it. Third, finally, any rejection or we had several cases wherein the lady was fired right before she could apply for maternity leave on the basis of performance, of course, and past data that shows that she is not good to remain an employee further. You have legal law, you have labor code, you have labor commissioner, you can go and fight. We have several cases for which we have fought and we have resolved it for the member of our forum. Not just they got their cases resolved, not just they got their jobs back, they even got compensation and they got better roles.
You come from the legal side, so can you take us through some of the legal, rights that we have? I mean, if women face these issues in their companies where, like she said, they're considered as spare talent or they're being fired, what can women professionals do there?
There is no performance-related issue. Your case becomes much stronger when you have to fight it out, right? Sure. So, of course, you have maternity benefits. I think you mentioned just before the panel that, there is in government jobs, there is enhanced benefit.
Yeah. You've got mothers can take leave up to 2 years.
Exactly.
Till their child is of a certain age. And private sector, there are no such norms.
Exactly.
In fact, we're penalizing a woman to be a mother. The concept of paternity leave is quite new in India, right? And there are some organizations that offer up to 2 weeks of paternity leave. My suggestion is that if that paternity leave is somewhat increased to 3 months, that will help a woman to go back to her career because she knows the father is taking care of the child.
Then you have Marissa Myers from Yahoo who rocks back to work in a week's time.
Exactly.
I think it's very attitudinal, right?
And then you have Mark Zuckerberg, who takes 2 months leave when his child is born.
Exactly. So I think you are the king of taking a call at that point in time, right? And I think that is the key. So for me personally, folks like Marissa, Cheryl are all really guys to look up to, women to look forward to actually. Because I think they're putting a message that, it's not like they've disowned the baby.
Good.
Right? So it's at that point in time, you're in the most crucial decision for your company. So they have kind of prioritized. So I think it's a constant struggle, but you got to take that call,
Though there's one aspect to that, right? I mean, a woman is the one who's carrying a baby for 9 months, bearing that baby, right? Delivering that baby. There's a massive toll on her body that childbearing, child rearing, especially in the first 40 days post-birth takes, right? So, yes, I'm all for paternity leave. In fact, the way my husband and I have also prioritized the way we'll build our careers and build our personal lives is that he's 50% in whatever we do today together. But the point is, there are certain things that are the prerogative of women alone, of mums alone, right? So we have to build that in. And there has to be an attitudinal shift. There has to be recourse to law to ensure we get what we need.
The Young Turks 14 Years Happy Women's Day.